Hey guys, welcome back to FACEIT TV. You're tuning in to myself, MVC, and alongside me, Zoo. Whilst we set up the next game, I thought we'd have a quick talk about QuakeLive, or I'll have a quick talk about QuakeLive.
Whilst I just have a look for maps, games, and all that.
Yeah, so you know, I'm sure all of you watching haven't played QuakeLive yourself, so why not do some unscripted, in-game sort of walk around, and I'll talk about the various things to look out for. So yeah, why don't we just quickly jump into the game, shall we?
What map's that you're looking at there?
Oh, this is Blood Run, funnily enough. I've not really played it that much.
You haven't? Not
I thought I'd have a look at it myself. You know, I'm sure if you don't check my profile, you won't see that I've only played Blood Run.
Millions and millions of times.
Millions and millions of times, yeah. So yeah, of course, when you get into the game, this is basically the HUD that you'll see as a player. Along the bottom, you can see the health on the lower left. You've got the weapon ammo in the middle on the bottom, and then your armor on the lower right. On the right hand side is the amount of weapons and the ammunition you have, and on the top left is the timer. Now, like I say, some players have custom HUDs completely, which you can find on Google and install and switch all the aspects around and the HUD elements to your heart's content almost. But nonetheless, you spawn into a game in 1v1. You've got 10 minutes to frag your opponent as much as possible. Now, whether it's Blood Run, Furious Heights, Lost World, Aerowalk, or Toxicity, any of the 5 maps in today's map pool, you're certainly going to be in one of them for 10 minutes, and you need to know basically how to win or how not to die, which is probably more important, the how not to die. But anyway, first things first, I'm going to quickly jump in as spectator and show you around. So spawn points can be anywhere. This is an old spawn that no longer exists, so you know the tech team do move things around. So let's just say there is a spawn over in this far corner inside this room here. So you spawn into the game. Once you spawn into the game, you have effectively 125 health that will tick down to 100 and no armor. Now, if I move over to that spawn so we can actually start from there, you'll be able to see how things work. So I've spawned in this position, which we might see later on today. I can see a rocket launcher here, so I'm going to pick this thing up, and then here's a yellow armor. If I pick this, it gives me 50. So what that's basically saying, there's a percentage ratio of if I take a rocket, a certain amount is going to be taken away from my health and a certain amount from my armor. And if I have no armor, my health's going to be stripped away pretty much instantly. So that's bad. So idea is to pick up armor. Of course, there's also health you can pick up, but let's bear in mind if at any point when you pick up health or armor, it goes above 100, it will tick down to that value and stop there. So even if you do pick up items, it's imperative you try and move around the map to find your opponent and deal as much damage early on to utilize the stack you have, the or you know, the tanked player. So I've got mega health here, I've got yellow armor, but you know, to do things again, if we were readied up, there would be a timer in the top left of the screen. So I'd pick up the armor and I'd look at the timer and I'd say, okay, I picked this up at 03. I know it's 25 seconds later it's going to spawn again. If I do move around the map, I know I need to be back here at 28.
That's why mental arithmetic might be a pretty awesome skill to have in Quake, and trust me, I wasn't very good at it until I started playing Quake. Yeah? And yeah, just timing a couple, 2 or 3 items at the same time, and also focusing on other things as well. So where the player is, how much health they have, where they are, you know, what your objectives are going to be over the next 30 seconds or till the next item spawns. That's kind of getting though to the higher sort of levels of what you want to aim for. But at least
earlier on, you do have to know the tiers on the armors, for example. So the yellow armor, whilst it does give you 50, is not the strongest on the map. If I make our way around here to the railgun area, there's a red armor up on that platform. You can see it swirling around. So you know, I would rather pick up the red. But if I can't, if I don't want to risk jumping to it, I have to find other things on the map to get. So you know, that is going to be me sticking on the yellow armor side of the map and timing this single yellow until I feel like I'm in a position where I can challenge for the red. So whilst I've got yellows, I'll be trying to deal damage, sitting back, moving around the map, using things like teleports to back away. And because I've got the rocket launcher that I got on my initial spawn, I can keep moving around and spamming rockets back and forth. And by doing this and making my opponent chase me will probably mean that he's going to sort of offset some of his item times incorrectly, and that could give you an opportunity. So long story short, in QuakeLive, when you spawn into the game, you need to firstly figure out the item timings, the red armors and the armors in general at 25 seconds, the mega health at 35, and once you've got that nailed down, you know how the